Hello everyone, Curious Artist here. I am here after being away for a few weeks. I know I was supposed to post videos once a week, and I did not record any videos in advance to post them while I was on my vacation, if you want to say. Um, I was not home for my staycation. I was at my significant others. But I'd like to tell you also that not because I was gone means that I wasn't working. I have been coming up with tons of ideas. And one of the reasons why it took me so long to post, really, because I want to respect his privacy and not do my recordings at his place of living. So I have to wait until I get home to do it. But I do like to apologize for not posting. Shame on me. I'm supposed to do this at least once a week. But I was coming up with tons of ideas, and what that also gave me time to do is get my thoughts organized because I want to do so much that I want to put everything in one video and I can't do that. So I decided to break this up into several videos. I don't know exactly how many videos there will be because there's different settings in the sky, clouds, colors, hazes, and different techniques and everything. I've seen, I just want to share what I have learned. I've learned a couple of techniques. One of them is from a wonderful watercolorist. His name is Oliver Pyle. Check out his YouTube videos on skies. He's really great at teaching. He explains things really well. Another one is Paul Clark. He is an amazing watercolorist as well. He's also very funny on his channel, um, and very entertaining. But he is awesome. He is very awesome. And both Oliver Pyle and Paul Clark, they do these workshops that I hope one day I'm going to be able to attend. And they fill up. The spots get filled up extremely quickly. Oliver Pyle just got done doing one in where was it? But I do know that he's coming to the States pretty soon, and those spots are already taken up, as well as he's going to do one in English and where he lives. And Paul Clark does a lot of those as well. They go on site in very old villages and towns, and he shows them. He shows their work, which I really appreciate when I watch these videos. So we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna show you a couple of other things that I got in the works. I'm cooking up right now, um, and let's get started. All right, like I mentioned before switching over to this view, I have different things going on in my head of what I want to do. We're going to work on skies today, maybe one with clouds. I might end up using it in a composition, like a really quick one, nothing to be amazed during, just so you can see how it can be used in a composition. And one of the other things I'm cooking up right now is, you see all these little pieces here? I told you I like to do miniature paintings. And the way that these happen is I find these miniature frames, and or I go into the aisle where they sell things for people who make doll houses and miniature paintings. So what I do is find these things, and this is for skip paper, and I just do several ones at a time so I can do more than one. And this is just scrap paper from where I cut it up. This is actually canvas paper that I bought. Is Bienvang canvas set. I got this. You see this yellow dot. I got this actually at the um, Lexington Lex Creative Center for Creative Reuse or something. I can never get this name right. I'm gonna have to write it down and put it in front of me because I go there all the time and I can never get it. I have them on Facebook. I might add it on. this video. It's somewhere on the screen so you guys can have it. And I'm going to write it down and tape it to my desk because I can never get the right wording on it. So this is just canvas paper. It has the same texture. I don't know if you can see. It has the same texture of canvas. Also, I like to use mixed media paper, which is right here, and this is just from Artist Loft. It's perfect for very, very small paintings and things like that. You can use acrylic, obviously, as mixed media acrylic or watercolor. And I already have some of these cut out right here. I'll show you the reason why. And taped. This gives me the margin. And here's the reason I have that like that. This I found is the same size of that right there. It has its own little canvas and little paint palette. So I'm gonna put that over it, cover it, and do my own painting. And usually I don't really sell these, but I think I might start. I don't know. And this is Make Market. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of these Hobby Lobby, Michaels, Artist Loft, nobody. So I have several of these. I also found these really cute little mirrors. I'm probably gonna pop out the mirror and do a painting. Okay. Also, these here, very 1980s, early 90s, and these also I can make little paintings off of. I also have small canvases. Just found these are board canvases as well. Oh, these are magnetic. I didn't even realize that when I bought them. These are only 1 3/4 inches by 2.75 inches. And that's why I've got these. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to record myself doing these because one is very time consuming and my eyes are not that great. I do have a couple of magnifying glasses, but that's too much to do it, and I don't know if I'll be buying equipment to make sure I can see or not. But this is, and I use this little board as the top of one of my cigar boxes. I don't smoke cigars, but I buy the cigar boxes that are empty. Well, I don't buy them. My boyfriend buys them, and he lets me have some. So, and they're really great for storing cables and materials, small things, projects, storing away ideas, things like that. Okay, so that's what this is about. I'm going to put it off to the side. And for this, today, we are going to be using, it's going to be paper. This paper is my Fluid watercolor paper. Alright, there was a small pause because I didn't realize that the sticker was still on there. Pay attention to it. So this is my Fluid watercolor paper. It's cold pressed. It's 140 pound, acid free. This is a 6 by 12 inch paper. I really like this. It's really great for doing the long landscapes or just practicing or whatever, and it's a block. I've already put a border on it, but I did that a long time ago. I was in the middle of the project, and I forgot what the project was going to be. So we're going to get this paper. Like I said, it's Fluid 100. I really like it. It's really good paper. I'm touching the paper because I've washed my hands before, in between switching screens. Gotta make sure your hands are always washed before using watercolor, because if you have any oil on your skin and you touch the paper, the color and the water will not adhere to your paper. We all know water and oil don't mix. I'm also going to use this palette here that I've not used yet. This is Master's Touch from, Hobby Lobby's brand. And I'm going to try it out. I got to try different things. So even though I really love my very own palette that I put together with all the brands and all my convenience colors, and this would be great if I could open it. There we go. It has 24 colors, and I swatched it because I can't really make out the colors on the so there it is, different colors on there. I don't usually use the mixing palette that it comes with. That for some reason it to me it just takes up so much space, and I'd rather use my ceramic ones. But it wouldn't be a bad idea if I tried, but I don't know. I don't like how much space they take. So how about I do this? I'm going to remove my already used ceramic one. I have this other ceramic palette because I want a larger surface to mix in. We're not going to be using that many colors. And maybe, alright, so I'll put it right there. I'd like to be able to show you the colors I'll be using. Here we go. So, I'm going to put this here. I'll let you know what colors I'll use. So actually I made another change. I was trying to put I don't know why I wanted my colors to be so far away over here. And I decided that the best place for it is on my right, because I'm right-handed, right by the water. Okay. So I keep cutting in and out of recording because of my lighting. I struggle so much with the lighting. It's so wonky. It looks dark still to me, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Okay. All right. Let's go back in. I am using. I was mentioning my Master's Touch set. We're mostly going to be using today are the blues, probably cobalt. There's one that's called Lake Blue right here. We got Lake Blue, Prussian Blue, Cobalt Blue, Ultramarine Blue that is almost like a violet color. I don't know if you can actually tell. No, you can't really tell on screen. But it's blue. It's more like a violet color. And of course, Brilliant Blue right next to it. And so, okay, so it's going to be the blue. I also have over on my right, a little bit out of the camera, is my rinse well, is my paintbrush toilet, as I mentioned before, because you flush the colors out, you flush it out, and it gives you clean water. My ceramic palette with the large mixing area, and I'm going to attempt to use these mixing wells here. I usually don't use it because I really like the way ceramic does. The paper, which I already told you about. Also, I use masking tape to divide paper or put margins on it. As far as brushes goes, this really doesn't matter what type of brush you use. So I got different brands. These aren't brushes. Different brands, different shapes, different types, bristles. I have some Cotton, some Winsor Newton brushes here. This is my Langnickel, Royal Langnickel flat, number 6. I have a round brush. This is from, what is it called? Lovely Finger. This is from Royal and Langnickel. This one is Artist Loft. And I've beaten up this brush hard with some other projects. And this is an Artist Loft cat's tongue. The Winsor Newton is a number 10 round and a number 6 flat. And all of these are going to be for, you'll see that it doesn't really matter as long as you can apply paint. I am going to be using my 1.5-inch Langnickel Hocket brush. And I only use these, and I mentioned this in prior videos. This I only use to add water to my paper. I'll use them to paint. I'm not that good at it, so I'm not going to throw in that kind of curveball. So I'm just, actually, you know what? I'm just going to keep these here until I'm ready to use them. Okay, while they're drying. These are my little micron markers. I'm not sure if I'll be using them or not, but I'm going to keep them over here on my right. And we'll get started here in a second. So, there are, let's get started with the first way of doing it. I'm actually going to divide this page so you'll see maybe the two different types of doing this. If I can find the edge, here we go. There we are. Let's get us a small piece here. I always do this. I'll fold the edge here. And let's get that here. Quickly. It's not going to be perfect because I'm doing this on a whim here. Looks somewhat even. Alright, so fold that. Just there. On one side I'm going to do wet on wet, and the other side is going to be dry on damp. Okay? Yep, that's going to be it. So let's get our paper wet. I'm going to get both sides wet at the same time with my Hocket brush. Hocket brushes are awesome. They're so soft. They're made out of goat hair. And we're just going to go in and do that here. Let's get the whole thing. Not the entire page because I might want to do something down here. Just kind of to finish up the video, okay? So, there's little dark hairs on my brush, maybe from where it was put away in my brush holder. Okay, so this paper is nice and wet, and let's see. We need to spray our watercolors, and I'm only going to spray over here on this side because I'm not going to really be using any of the other colors, okay? So let's grab my roughest brush because honestly, I don't know, it's really fuzzy on the tip because I've beaten it up with my canvases as well. And we got this is very, very wet. The colors have been really activated, and I want to go in with, I really like cobalt blue, but this lake blue is also very nice as well. I'll keep that there for reference. I've never used this before. The way that you do clouds on a sky, you know what, we're not going to do clouds on a sky yet. We're going to do an even wash. And for that we need water. Ooh, that's vibrant. Lots of water here. Let's do that. Alright, so for that we're just going to do side to side. And we're also going to need a little bit of gravity on this. And one of my videos, maybe my last video, we used gravity to do the bead. This is a perfect one to do the bead. If it's a small surface, obviously, because you don't want to do the bead on a large painting, unless you have a lot of patience and time to do it, because it is time consuming. So we're just going to do a clear sky. Go back in, we got our water. See here, we could do the bead if you wanted to. Yeah. And that's all there is. gravity helps this, or you can flat. You can actually, if you wanted to, you can flatten it. Now, there's your flat wash. That's an even tone. You would think, right? Here we go. Another one of these techniques for it. Easy peasy. Get some tissue. Crumble it up a little bit. Okay. You can do little clouds like that, which a lot of people like to do. Okay. There you go. Fluffy clouds that way. Okay. Now we have this area on this side here. If you remember, I said I was going to do dry on damp, but actually I need this to be really wet because I changed my mind about how it's going to be here. I do need it to be wet, and you'll see here in a second. And my paper is buckling. It's okay. Most decent papers will do, unless you're stretching your paper. I think that's going to be another one of the episodes. We're going to talk about stretching paper. I also learned how to do this from Oliver Pyle. On this one, the way we do it, we're going to use the same color. But we're going to go directly into the color. And add the color. There you go. You can do that. You can do this. Okay. And just add color and leave spaces. Now this is going to dry lighter, obviously, because the paper is wet, is full of water, and as it dilutes, you know, it'll do stuff, and it'll dry lighter. These are the kind of wispy clouds you can get. These are wispy clouds, as you can see. And you can do it like this. Just drop the color in. Okay? As long as the paper is wet, you can do that. And you have some clouds in between. Also diffuse some of that if you like. There you go. You paint negatively for these clouds. Now, I didn't do a very good job here, but we can try again on another piece of paper. I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to cut out just a little bit, okay? Because I don't think I did a very good job in this one. Alright, I am back. I had to cut out a little bit so I could take the paper off the block. I ended up tearing the paper up. The masking tape had been on there for just way too long, and the longer it stays on, the more it can damage your paper. So always keep that in mind. You can see here on my right, on the right side, the wispy clouds. They turned out actually pretty cool. On this side, the clouds are kind of faint. I think what happened, I put the paint a little bit too light, and then I dabbed it. So it's not as pronounced as the clouds could be, but we could do that again here in another spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's use this. You know, I'm gonna use a different brush. I think I want to darken this again. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this here. I think I was supposed to. I'm gonna get this rolling. For some reason, I am not satisfied with this because I'm supposed to be showing you what I've learned. I'm not showing you what I've learned because here it is. Beautiful. I think also the other side was a damp area, not a wet. No, that's not true because I ended up wetting the area anyhow. So let's get this darker. This was a wet on wet, almost like a bead. And I did mention that actually, you know, I'm going to use a bigger brush to get that area done faster. Alright, so we're going to go back in here. And we are going to load this up with thicker paint so we can get those clouds with the napkin. I am obsessed with it. I can't let it go. I've mentioned in previous videos that I am not perfect and I make mistakes, but this is something I want to make sure that comes across clear. I don't want to be responsible for y'all skies to be messed up. Remember that I can't get a clear wash on here. Not a clear, but an even wash because paper's too wet and is buckling a little bit. I want to show you what I was trying to tell you. Let's clean the brush, put it down, get some more tissue. And while it's still really, really wet, let's go ahead and crumple up our paper. Press really, really down on here. A little bit too much here. There we go. Clouds. Clouds, 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 clouds. More clouds. There you go. Bigger clouds. Fluffy clouds. And wispy clouds. Throw that paper away. And this paper away. And now just for kicks, I'm going to use this here. And let's get a very dark green. I got this green. I could do that one. Add some blue to make it darker. And I need more. That's brilliant. And also a deep green here. Let's get some of that blue. And let's just go in here and make it look like there's, I don't know, there's a magical bush somewhere around here. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. Ooh, I like that color. That's pretty. That's a very pretty and very dark. It almost looks like a Plaflo green or blue. I really like it. Anywho, you could actually do some mountains over here. Those are mountains. I don't know why I thought that was a mountain, but I think I'm gonna add some. I'm gonna do some brown here, maybe. There we go. Anyway, so the reason why I'm doing all of this is because I want to show you clouds. Let's add a little bit of, it's called Deep Black. And I'm sorry I'm not mentioning the names of the colors because honestly it doesn't really matter when you're doing these types of things with the clouds. You just choose whatever color or shade you want, and you shade of blue that you want, okay? And you do the exercise. On this side, we dabbed with a napkin, wet on wet, with the darkest blue that you feel comfortable with, okay? And you dab with a tissue, a napkin, something like that. Now, it really matters sometimes what type of tissue you're using. I use toilet paper, so if you're using a Kleenex, it'll be a little bit cuter a little nicer. Over here, I just had a wet paper, and I left white spots near the painting on the blue. Okay. Um, this side, I'm gonna use the cat's tongue. I don't know what I'm gonna do over here, but I think I'm gonna start with a little bit of yellow. Don't know why I thought yellow. Ooh, that's almost a fluorescent yellow. What color is that? It's lemon yellow, but it looks almost fluorescent. As my base, I'm gonna add some. Let's do some carmine. Yeah, why not? It's my painting, right? I really love working with the cat's tongue brush. It's make beautiful flowers. You can make leaves with it. You can make fields of red something or another here. I don't know what this is. And we're gonna add maybe some. I like this color too. Let's add some color in here. This is blue, so things are gonna turn greenish. Maybe on the screen. See the little peels and stuff. Makes it look like something's happening there. I have a smaller cat's tongue. That would really make it look cool. Let me see, what else can I put in this to make it look cool? Let's go in for orange. Why not? Let's put some orange in here. That's not a good. I need to dab that. Wasn't supposed to do that. It just murked up. I said murked up. That's actually I meant to say muddied. I don't know what murked up came from. But that makes it look like there's something happening. Like there's some kind of cloud field of something, okay? I don't know what it is. But I'm gonna give it a little bit of something here, maybe. Also very good for distant trees. Don't know what color I was supposed to use there, but I used that. Let me see if I can add some different color. A little. There we go. Some green. Okay. That's wispy clouds. Dabbed out clouds. I don't know where. Oh, those are markings. There's some markings. I don't know if you can tell. In the blue. Maybe not. In the blue, there's some markings, but that's from the toilet. That's why it's best to use the Kleenex or something like that. And down here, I just want to do this. Let me see what I can do down here. This water, this brush is so muddy. I think I'm going to use this black again. Just kind of maybe give it a little bit of a something here. I don't know what it is. But we can use it on both sides. Make it look like there's rocks or something. There we go. There. Nothing and everything. Something and nothing. There you go. There you go. Dabbed, wispy. And I think that's going to be it for today. I really enjoyed this. Clouds is something I actually, besides the bead, doing the bead exercise, chasing the bead as my last episode, making clouds is another way to help me kind of relax a little bit and kind of chill, get myself centered, whatever you want to call it, pass the time. I can do this and watch TV at the same time and just be relaxed for hours. The only thing about it is that you go through a lot of paper when you're practicing clouds. That's why I divided the paper. Because it goes quite fast. And you have to be ready for whatever. So, as you can see here, we did wispy clouds. We did the dabbing. Is really your preference. In the dabbing, obviously, the word alone makes lets you know. Use tissue while it's still wet, and you dab out the color, giving you um, those little fluffy clouds. I can do a better job at this. I might just do it before I click out of here. And then you have the wispy clouds. Wispy clouds is just you wet the paper. You can use damp paper, but it's best to do wet on wet. Get your darkest shade of blue or whatever color you're trying to do your sky, and you negative, but you just dropping color. You kind of wisping. You kind of move the paint around yourself to give it that wispy look, and when it dries, it diffuses and it softens. So I really want to do this again, but I think it might be the blue that's, I don't know. Let me try this again, because I'm not happy. I'm just not happy. I'm gonna move my little frame here and put it right there to dry. And let's try this. Oh, I got the. I'm not supposed to do that. All right, but I did say I was gonna use different brushes to do this. So let's see. I already used the cat's tongue, but not for the cloud. I did not use it for the cloud, so I guess I could do that again. Let's get this paper wet again. Separate it. Okay, let's separate the paper. I have to do it. I just do. So I'm not happy with it. And how can I teach you if I'm not doing it, right? Can't leave it to your own devices. I've already been irresponsible for the last couple of weeks. Alright, so we get the paper wet here. I'm getting the whole paper wet here. Okay, let's just do it like that. Might be too much water. I think I went a little crazy with the water. Alright, so let's stay on the top here. Alright, there's that. And let's use the cat's tongue. Let's use a different type of blue. Let's use that light blue. Let's use Persian blue, because you know what? Why not? Let's do that. I might use these paints up until today. So, ooh, that is dark. Beautiful. I don't use Persian blue very often, even though it is a beautiful color. So let's get this done. I think it's a highly staining color. So let's do that here. Alright, so let's do some. I'm just getting a little crazy with the color here. I'm not even trying to be even. I'm being a bad YouTuber. Alright, so let me clean my brush. Don't like leaving the paint on them. Let's get some toilet paper again. Okay. And just a little bit. Ah, here we go, see? Let's do that. Just make the clouds move this way. There we go. It seems that did the trick. You can get more pigment out of it if you like. I think I'm up to just slowly leave it alone. The blue in here is very, very pigmented. So if you wanted it to be really bright white clouds, you're gonna have to maybe add, I don't know, maybe some, because you can't add white, but you can add some gray underneath. Let's see if we can do that. Okay. Not a lot of it. It's just enough to give it a hint of. And And the gray usually goes like underneath it. You see that diffusing underneath it? That, I don't know. That separates the cloud a little bit. I don't think I like that. I'm gonna dab it out. Ah, that's terrible, but that actually gave me a little bit of a different. I don't know if you can maybe wet the paper and dab it out. That didn't really work. But you can see the clouds, they're fluffy, they're pretty. And that one worked. Because it's more noticeable compared to this one. The color is more intense here, so when you take out the color, it's easier to notice. So let's just play with this bottom piece here. I think I'm going to use, because I'm in the mood, I'm going to use a flat brush. And on this one, I am going to use this pretty green. This green is called leaf green. I've got no clue. Wow, that is so pretty. These colors from Master's Touch, just the name brand for Hobby Lobby, are very beautiful. They're intense, thick, they're creamy. Wow, I'm impressed. Oh, also talking about Master's Touch, I went and bought some tubes from Master's Touch, and I made myself and my granddaughter matching palettes. She's getting older and she's more responsible. So I think she's at the point where I think she should have her own palette. And I have it right now in my car. Both of them. I have them both in my car curating. And when I say that, when I put it in my car, I know it's kind of nutty, but watercolors, what I've heard is that you can also bake, I guess if you had some metallic what are they called, pans, metallic pans, that if you were to bake it, they cure faster. So what I do, since it's so hot outside, I make sure I put them inside my car. The windows are rolled up, and basically in about 2 days instead of 2 weeks, they're dry. So that's what I do now with my palettes. I don't know what I'm going to do in the summer. I guess I'll just do like I did before, and just from the dry air inside indoors, and let that do its thing. Well, that actually looks kind of pretty. Now I just want to dry brush a little bit down here. With this green. My allergies is bothering me a bit. It's a little bit sniffly. Alright. Like I mentioned before, if you're just coming in and you're like, what is she doing? What is that? It's absolutely nothing, because this composition is about the sky and nothing else. About the clouds that I've made on the top. And I'm just playing around with color right now. I seem to be enjoying this process a little bit too much, and playing with colors, and actually this new palette seems to be pretty neat. And I think I'm going to, because I did not use it, I did use a flat, and don't remember one. Let's do this one. The color maybe? Yeah, let's use this color with this flat. Ooh, pretty cool color too. This is, oh, let's burnt umber. I haven't really been able to distinguish colors yet. Some colors I do, some I don't. I can tell what they are by just looking at them. Umbers and sienna and some greens are not that easy for me to distinguish yet. And now, because I need to use it, I pointed it out. Let's go into the black and do that. I've got no idea what that is, but it's in this painting. Maybe a rock or something, I don't know. There you go. That's it. That is it for this video. I had too much fun. The next video, just so I can remind myself what I'm supposed to be doing, I am going to actually make more clouds with maybe a little bit of gray underneath them, separate them, possibly make them brighter. See you guys next time. I can't think of what I can't say what I'm trying to think. Maybe that's not what I'm trying to say either. But it'll be great. Next one is going to be pretty cool. You see how much better that came out compared to that one? To this one? And, of course, we did a wispy one. Those are our 3 skies. And at the end of the series, I think I'm gonna do a bit of a landscape. I don't know exactly what the landscape's gonna be yet, but I mean, once I have a sky, what else matters, right? Not sure, but this is how I did. These two are dabbing, just different colors. This color was a little bit too light, and that's why the dabbing didn't really pop as much as it did on this side down here, but it's the same exact technique. It's just this is a much darker color and it showed better. And then this one is the wispy clouds are wet on wet or dry on wet, and all you do is kind of put the paint and let it diffuse, and it shows up like that. This is a little bit of paint on that, sorry about that. And like I said, it really doesn't matter the rest of the composition. This is more so about the skies at the end of this series, which, like I said, I don't know how many more of these I'm going to make about the sky. It's more about the skies than it is the composition. Once I'm at the end of it, I am going to possibly do a landscape, and I'll see you guys next time. This was fun. I really enjoyed it. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, beautiful evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. And see you next time. Thank you for being here. Oh, and another thing. I have to shamelessly do this because I would like to get some more subscribers. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, liking it, and give it a thumbs up, dudes, dudettes, babies, dolts. Let your babies watch my video. Make them members too. And maybe they'll grow up to be artists as well. Have a good one. Bye-bye.